Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music. Or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2radiomusic.com.
And good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday, Music Monday. This is Take Two Radio Music, and I am Pam, your host. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day in Chicago. I wish every day could be like today. It's a little bit windy, but I can handle that because it's just gorgeous. I bet it's probably in the 70s. I haven't checked what the temperature is yet, but either that or very low 80s, and with the wind, it just doesn't seem as hot, maybe as it should feel. So I hope you all had a great weekend as well. No music today as far as my indie music show that I play on Mondays because I have a guest, and I'll be chatting with him as soon as he calls in. And he's award-winning singer-songwriter, and his name is Billy, and I hope I pronounce his last name correctly. I want to say Grima, but I could be wrong, but we'll have to check with him when he calls in. And on Wednesday, I also have a guest at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's UK singer-songwriter Daniel Trigger. And he was in a band called Trigger, of course. He was the lead singer, and now he's a solo artist. And he does rock music, so we should be getting some head-banging music to listen to that day. Actually, I already have some, but yeah, I'll be playing a few of his songs as well. You can listen to any of the previous podcasts on Take2radiomusic.com. That's with the number 2. I have the upcoming guests on there, the previous podcasts, the previous playlist from the Mondays, Music Mondays are on there. Different things. So, well, I think possibly our guest is calling in now. Let me just double check and pick up this call.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, is this Billy?
Yes, it is. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And how about yourself?
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I pronounced your last name Grima, but I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
I would have to say that's close enough. It's Grima.
Grima.
But I've been I've been called Grima, Grima. So pick one.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, because of being married, I have a very easy last name, but my maiden name, forget about it. People couldn't even get close to pronouncing it the right way. So you just kind of live with that, you know?
You got it. Yeah, in Australia it's Grima, and here I find Grima and Grima. So
and you're originally from Australia, right?
Yes.
And then you moved to Canada?
I moved to Canada when I was 15, and here we are.
Wow. So was that hard? I mean, that's right in the middle of your teen, those important teen years, moving from one country to another, let alone state to state.
Yeah, 15 years old, you know it all.
Yeah.
And, you have your best friends, and it was tough. I mean, Canada and Australia have a lot of things in common, when it comes to language or whatnot, but it's still you still have your best friends. You still, that age is it's pretty hard, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, so, yeah. Because there's nothing more important to you at that age than your friends.
That's right. So true.
I remember how it was for me, and when I got to high school, we moved. I about died.
Yeah.
But all I had to do, because we only moved one town over, was walk over the bridge and go visit with my friends. But still, it was tragic.
Yeah. The good thing is with me. The good thing with me now is, we keep in touch, and it's been quite a few years. So I'd like to go. I've only gone back once, but I do plan to go back because we have a reunion every year. I just keep on missing it. So maybe next year we'll head down there. But we keep in touch anyway.
Yeah, it's not exactly a hop, skip, and a jump away that you can go anytime either. So
that's true. That's it. You got it. You just hit the jackpot.
Yeah. Right. So, what kind of music did you listen to growing up?
My mother in the house we had my mother playing country, and my father playing stuff like Buddy Holly and Elvis, Fats Domino. So I kind of grew up with those. But as I got older, I started listening to artists like Billy Joel. I used to love Journey.
Who didn't? Oh my God, they're the number one in my book.
Yeah. So and then also I started when I was writing, and I got, I guess, wiser or maybe more mature. I like Sarah McLachlan, Joe Cocker. I mean, there's so much talent out there, right? There's amazing bands. So and now it's like gone crazy. I mean, there's so much talent. It blows my mind.
And it's really kind of hard to pick a favorite, especially when most music these days can cross different genres, and you just have to hear a song. You can't sit there and say, well, I'm not going to listen to that song because it's country, because you don't know that anymore, It can be a crossover of pop. It can be a crossover of rock. Take a listen to it. You just might like it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because the fact that my friends here in Canada think I'm country. And I thought I was I kind of went with country with a bit of flavor. That's what I call it. But in the U.S., they tell me, it's not country. And actually, I've had a couple of guys here in the industry say, Billy, it's not country. I call it country with a bit of flavor. Because I was writing my songs on the piano, and me and my engineer, Pete Swan, said that, we're like the Billy Joel of country with piano. But then I switched to guitar the last 3 songs. So, I don't know. I like Motown. I think there's a couple of songs that have those horn sections that like Calendar Girl. And they tell me it's got some Motown in it. But, I write what I feel, and I come up with that. I mean, country's not like it used to be. Like you said, it's
right.
Like way crossed over. Yeah, so, it's, I call it country.
That's a good thing, too, because that brings you fans from different genres.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So that's a good thing. Now, I know you play the guitar, so you play the piano too?
Yeah, it's funny. I had not played guitar for probably since high school. Because when I picked up piano, I started playing piano. But then when I started doing the album, when I wrote my 7 songs on the piano, I said, I need to change it up. So I picked up the guitar. I had not played guitar probably for 20 years almost.
Wow.
And I picked it up. And I wrote Sugar and Cream on piano, on guitar, sorry. Pleasure to Have Met You. I Live in the Dream. And now I can't put it down. So it's kind of cool to just write. Yeah.
Well, it's easier to carry a guitar on stage, I think, than it would be a piano. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm gonna play piano on stage, it better be a grand piano.
You're right. Go with the best.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, did you take singing lessons when you were growing up, or is this all natural?
All natural.
Oh, wow.
Same thing when it came to my playing. I was of a take lessons guy. I took a little bit, but I was never I used to take guitar lessons at a very young age. And I used to go home, and instead of me doing my homework, I used to try to write a song with all the chords that I learned. But I was never, I was and when it comes to writing, there's no rules. So when I play everything by feel. I don't know how I have no idea how I get it. I have no idea. I'll be honest with you, because
it's just a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. I call it a gift, yes, because when I bought the piano, my first piano, I never knew anything about piano. I just decided I need to buy a piano, and I started writing, and then you have that guy telling me, "You have an idea what you're playing?" Well, it's no. So it comes from deep within, like deep in my. I have no idea, like I said, and up to this day, I just have to sit there and have somebody write it out for me.
That's so neat. I like that, and it's because it's not easy for any songwriter to write songs sometimes. It's almost like a writer's block when you're writing a book or something. Have you ever come across that?
Yes, I must say yes. When I'm at peace, when there's nothing around me, there's no noise, there's nothing bothering me, the music keeps coming. But if something's bugging me, could be anything. Could be, the curtain in my kitchen is not set properly. If that bugs me, then I have a hard time writing. So I have to go in my own world, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, you've probably written quite a few songs by now. So, do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Yeah, it was one of those. I look at it now, and I think, what was I writing? I was just a kid. It was called Down the Tumut Lake. But I was probably 11 maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
But then when I did my first album, my real first album, that was called I'm Just Standing. I was very happy with that. That kind of got me going. So.
Definitely. Yeah, I can understand that. Now, you've released 3 albums to date. I'm Just Standing, A Little Piece of Heaven, and your latest, Sugar and Cream. How do you put your songs together for your albums? And tell us a little bit about each album.
When it comes to writing it, there's been times when I've written, could be, a lot of times I end up writing the choruses first if I have a hook. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it could be just an instrumental part that I start writing. But most of the time what happens is I come up with a hook, maybe a saying or maybe a sign that I see. My mind just starts going, and I start coming up with words, and I put them to melody. And that's how it comes. Like I'm constantly carrying a recorder in my hand, and I'm constantly recording stuff. Could be just maybe a 10-second lick or 10-second hum or 10-second, and I just expand on that. Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about each of your albums.
Okay, so I'm Just Standing came about, I wrote that, how old was I? Maybe 19, 20, maybe 20, 21 years old is when I took it, I released it. And that was more of a rock, pop, it's still country. Like, I'll give you an example. I have the song Caroline and the song Baby Please Don't Cry from that album that I redid, and I put them on this album because they were favorites and I really liked them, so I put them on. But if you listen to the old version, it was more rocky, maybe like a Bruce Hornsby type.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now I think that over the years I've matured maybe, and I can feel a lot more when I
right.
Yeah. So I don't know if that comes with age or what. I have no idea, but I love it. I love being in that state. Then I did a gospel album because I want to raise money for underprivileged children. I called that A Little Piece of Heaven. And then came Sugar and Cream. Sugar and Cream has opened a lot of doors, and at the same time, this one means a lot to me because this one really, 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 a lot of it was personal stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, and the way I write is I like writing about personal stuff because I can feel what I'm writing.
Right. And when you sing it too.
Absolutely. A good example of that would be I Miss You Baby. I had somebody post something up on Facebook because they heard it on some radio station, and they just said they listened to it over 30 times in that one night. They just had to keep listening to it.
Oh my gosh.
And they posted it, and somebody gave me a notice that they posted it up. It was it's about losing someone to cancer.
Oh.
But
yeah,
it's just the way it is.
Yeah, a lot of people can. What's the word I'm looking for? Relate to that. So yeah, I could understand that. If your songs are relatable, then a lot of people will pick up on that and play them and then get into more of your music.
Yes. And I'm not. It might be a sad song, but I just write what I feel, and because first I have to think of how I feel when I'm writing that song, and if I'm happy with it, that's me. It's just me. I like to share it, and that's how all this came about.
Well, which song would you say is closest to your heart? That's either on one of the albums or even not on an album.
I Miss You Baby, and You Mean the World to Me. That'll probably be my favorites for me. Because one is it's about the song I Miss You Baby, like I said, was about cancer, but the chorus for that song I wrote in high school, and I put it all together. 25 years later. As for You Mean the World to Me, it's about my children.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of hidden messages in that song that me and the kids know. It's all about they understand the song totally different because there's certain things in it that stand out. And if you can watch them on video on YouTube, that you might catch some of it.
Right. Now, what do your kids think about your music? Is that something that they listen to a lot, or is it, well, you're just dad, and if they hear a song, that's great?
Yeah, you know what? They do listen to, when I finish a song, I pass it by them sometimes, and sometimes when I turn around, they're crying because it touches them. When it comes to recording, they listen to it, but then they want to go and play or do their thing, and Dad's dad, and Dad will never grow up, and that kind of stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
They don't. They listen to my. Actually, when I finish a song, usually I pass it by them all the time, just because I'm so happy with the song that I finished. But my little one is more into, hey, Dad, I like that song. I love your song. Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Now, what was it like for you to perform live on stage for the very first time?
The first time, so I used to sing in the church choir, but first time I performed in front, it was a contest. I'll never forget that, and I sang. What did I sing? I sang "I'm Gonna Knock on Your Door" by Donny Osmond. That was a long time ago, and but now with the band, it's great. I love performing. It was nerve-wracking when I started, but now it's just it's amazing. I absolutely love it because we get the crowd going. When you see the crowd knowing your music and they sing along, it's out of this world.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, and I've said it before on different shows, there's nothing like a live concert for fans, to go to see their favorite performer. And I would imagine, you guys get the emotions and the electricity and all that from the fans while you're up there on stage.
Yes, it's an amazing feeling. We and the band, we all get along really, really well. They're all a bunch of nice guys, and we've been together for many years, and it's a great thing. Everybody's dedicated, and we work as a team.
And that's the way it has to be.
That's right. Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't get things done.
That's right. That's very true. A lot of bands, a lot of bands don't last because they break up. You know what I mean?
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now, working with producers like Pete Swan, what did you learn from them on the production side?
We blended really well. As we progressed with the album, we got to learn more about each other. And even though we were in separate rooms at times, we can tell what what the other guy's thinking. We just have the headphones on, the mics, and I'll say, guess what I'm thinking. We work very well together, and I can't wait. I started working on my next album already, and I can't wait to get together with Pete again. We send stuff to each other all the time. He's a great he's a great guitar player, great musician, great engineer. As for when it comes to the videos, same thing with Gregory D'Souza. He's on my videos. He's the director. Same thing. They see my vision. We talk about it, and we take it from there.
And that's perfect.
And it's a great way to work and feed off each other at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And are you? Let's see. How do I put this? Do you take criticism or change easily?
Yeah. When I try to explain something to these guys, I make sure that they understand my vision. And what we do is then if we record something, we sit on it, and then that's when the changes start. But I have to listen because these guys they see how I think and they know me. And they say, Billy, what do you think of this? And sometimes there are things that I think, hey, you know what? I didn't think of that. That's great. And we just blend. And what happens is the project gets bigger and bigger and better.
Well, that's a good thing that you trust who you work with, because if there's not that trust or belief in who that is and what they do, then it's not going to work either. So you seem to be in all the right places with all the right people.
I am very lucky, I must say. I'm very lucky.
Now, another thing, too, about music these days is that it's so easily accessible. People go and they download it the moment that it's released instead of waiting and then going to the store to buy it. Does that make you feel an urgency to get your music out faster?
Yes. I can't wait to do my next album, but there's so much to do with this album still, right? I think we've released Pleasure to Have Met You, and then there's Calendar Girl, but there's a lot more in that album that people should listen to. And like I said, people have, because I've got 6 videos on YouTube right now, and there's been a lot of people that have gone on there and checked out the stuff that they like it. But so it's an ongoing thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as you give the fans, a song here or a song there while you're working on the album, then, that gives them something to satisfy them at that moment. And a lot of kids these days don't realize what it takes to put an album together. Not just only writing the songs and having them produced and all that, but also the money that it takes to do that.
Well,
so, I'm very good at telling our listeners when I play music, be sure to, pick up that music, make that purchase, buy that single or buy that EP or buy that album. Because without you guys doing that, it makes it harder for any of the artists out there to go on and make more music unless they have a regular daytime job to do as well.
That's so true. There's a lot of money that goes into this, and when you get people purchasing from iTunes, it really helps. because musicians most of the time, they work at they do it because not for the money, and there's so much, like I said, I got some people pushing me, but still doesn't pay the bills at times,
Right.
So yeah, so having people purchasing my music, that's a great. I want to thank them very, very much. It keeps me going, and it gives me the chance to write another.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, I care about. Like I said, I do this because I love it, and I love to share my music. So.
Yeah. But no matter how much you love it, you have to get some dollars behind it, so you could keep making more of it.
that is true. You're right. That is true. Yeah. So go to YouTube or you can go to iTunes or Amazon or CD Baby. You can find my stuff there.
Yes, definitely. Now, you've been compared to Jason Mraz, Ed Sheeran, Jack Johnson, and Bruno Mars, which they're all great artists, and that says a lot about your music. So if you could sit down with one or all of them, what one question would you ask?
Can I open up for you?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. That would be so cool. It would be a great feeling. It would be an amazing thing. I would love an artist to pick one of my songs and check it out. Like I have a song called "Picture of You and Me," which is about the armed forces, and I'm looking for a father figure to sing something like that, more like a Bruce Springsteen or Billy Joel. It's about the armed forces and about losing someone in the war, and there's that's how I see things, right? I mean, when I'm writing something, I can actually see, I can visualize everything when I'm writing it, and that's a great benefit for me.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's kind of, again, like writing a book, or even reading one, or listening to a song. For us that listen to it, at least for me, I can picture what's going on. A lot of people just listen, because, that's a good dance song, or that's a good song to sing along with, or this song puts me in a better mood. But I do visualize when I'm listening to music or reading a book.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. Every video that you've seen on YouTube, my videos it's funny because when I'm writing it, I can actually see it. So if I'm writing on piano, like especially "I Miss You, Baby," that song says a lot. It says a lot just by watching that video, because it's exactly how I was watching it when I was writing it in my head.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect, because that means that you're happy with that video or that song. When you put it into production and you get it on an album or you get it on YouTube, you're happy with it.
Yes, absolutely. I must say I've been very, like I said, I have a great team to work with, and they've been great.
Well, you're not only getting recognition from fans, but also from the music industry, because you recently won for Best Song for the Academia Awards this month for Pleasure to Have Met You. First off, congratulations on winning. And second, what do these awards mean to you?
They mean a lot to me because of the fact that, when people can actually... it's a great reward, put it that way, to have someone look at my song and loving it. It's a writer's dream. So, when someone can relate or love the song that I wrote, it is just an amazing feeling. It's always been my dream, and to have it out there on the radio, like people like you having me on your show, makes it possible. So.
Exactly, and it tells you that you're on the right road, if you ever have second thoughts on that.
You say on the road? Pardon?
It tells you that you're on the right road if you
Yes.
have ever had second thoughts about doing what you're doing.
No, I you know what? I'll make it. I sent Michael Stover. This couldn't have been done without Michael. So MTS has done a lot for me. I sent him a package a long time ago, and 6 months later, I get a nice email telling me he really would like to talk to me and see if we can work together. And this wouldn't have been possible. So, am I on the right track? Yes, I got my music being heard and people liking it, being on radio shows. You know what, having Michael doing all the legwork for me, because I just like to write and sing, and I have ideas, but it's nice to have the right people do the right thing for you.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of times you don't have time to do all that stuff, because nowadays to promote yourself and your music, you not only have to, have your music played on the radio or do an interview, but there's also social media. I mean, that's huge these days. And in this way, you get to get fans from all over the world listening to you and interacting with you.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. This wouldn't have been years back. You were knocking on record company doors, and they'll say, no, we only accept we won't accept unsolicited material. Well, here we are today. My stuff's on the radio, and it's amazing to have it out there. It's a great way to get it out there.
Definitely. Now, speaking of social media and that, I know you have fans from all over the world, so would you like to give them a shout-out right now?
Sure. This is billy-grima. Please listen and look up and listen to my album, Sugar and Cream. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and you can also get me at www.billy-grima.com and enjoy my music. Check us out on YouTube, too.
Definitely. And on Twitter, your handle is Grima_Billy, just so our listeners out there know how to find you, because if you just put in Billy Grima, you do come up, for me at least, but I know that there was a couple others, so I had to check which one you were.
Yeah, you can also get us on Facebook, too, actually, which is a good thing, too. Yeah, Facebook is another.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
a great thing, yeah.
Now, do you have any upcoming gigs you'd like to share with us?
Well, actually, we're trying to work. We're planning a tour in the States, a college tour. But also, we've been trying to figure out where we should go first, because now we're getting fans and they want us out there. So it's a matter of trying to plan it properly. And what I do too is I do an acoustic act, and I have my whole band too play with me. So depending on where we're going. And I'd like to actually do, what was it, last Sunday? Yeah, yesterday we went to a place to record a live show just with the acoustics on radio, which is nice. So I'd like to do that too. I'd like to tour the radio shows. That's all I'm planning. Let's see, which venue are you dying to play? And where's that at? In Toronto. In Toronto, I'd love to play Massey Hall, because it's a very intimate venue. Beautiful venue. Like Jason Mraz will play there. Brian Adams played there when he was younger. It's very intimate. It's not like the Sky Dome. It's a smaller venue, but it's very intimate. Very intimate.
Well, I actually prefer those, because there's not as many people that you have to look over their heads, and you're closer to the artist, that you're going to see. And like you said, it's intimate. It's more almost like a one-on-one. It's you with, the whole crowd, and I love them. I mean, I have quite a few bands and singers, of course, that I love, but there's this one that I go to see often, and he likes playing the smaller venues as well, and it makes such a huge difference with us.
Yeah, like Massey Hall it's an older place. It's a landmark. but it's very intimate, and I really like that, because you can do the acoustic thing, and it feels so close. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I think you should do more of those. It's great for the fans as well. Now,
yes.
Before I let you go, I'm going to play Pleasure to Have Met You and Calendar Girl for our listeners, but would you tell them a little bit about each song?
Sure. So Pleasure to Have Met You, when I wrote that, I was thinking about my soulmate. It's about that somebody that no matter what you're doing, if you're walking down the street, if you're driving, you can't wait to get that call. Hi, how are you today? How you doing?
Right.
Or you'll be driving, you're in La La Land, and you start smiling out of nowhere because you're thinking about that person. Stuff like that.
Right.
Stuff that gives you the giggles, I guess, and goosebumps, whatnot. So that's Pleasure to Have Met You. As for Calendar Girl came by with was at a party, and this lady walked by, and I thought she worked at this bar that we used to visit, go have lunch there. So I said to her, I said, I know you. She goes, no, you don't. I said, you work at such and such a place. She says, no. So then she walked away smiling, and I said, you know what? I know where I know you. And she turned around with this big smile, and I said, you're my calendar. And that's how the title. And that's how the title came about. And then a few weeks later, I had that riff going, and we went fishing, me and my buddies. And while they were fishing, I was sitting on the dock writing my song, and it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it.
Now, does she know that you wrote that song because of her?
Yes, I did. I actually told her. I said, I'm writing a song about the title, about Calendar Girl, and she knows. Yeah, she knows. Yeah, it just happened to come out of my mouth that way, and I thought that's a great title for a song, and sure enough.
I love it, and I bet she does too. So that's great that you could do that and let her know about it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I reminded her when I put it on the radio. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. That's so great. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Billy. It was wonderful speaking with you and learning more about you and your music. And you're welcome back anytime. I look forward to your new music, and keep in touch.
I would love to, yeah. Make sure you hook up with us on Facebook so we can keep in touch in that way. And I got your number and all that. But definitely would love to come back and maybe even do a live show with you on your show.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So you enjoy the rest of your day, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for joining me again.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, and for our listeners, here we go with Pleasure to Have Met You.
I can't help think about you and me, and how we drive each other wild intentionally. You whisper in my ear, pleasure to have met you, dear. Babe, I must confess, can't get enough of you. We sit by the fire, overlooking the lake, in a little cab, a little hideaway. You turn the radio on as we dance to a song called Sweet Savannah. And you said, pleasure to have met you, baby. Oh, how we drive each other crazy. We ain't gonna fight this feeling, it sure feels good. Did you fancy walk with your high heels on? Tell me what you're thinking for the night is gone. Babe, I must confess, can't get enough of you. We drank a glass of wine as we sat by the fire. You told me all your secrets and your heart desire. Now I gotta tell you all that's on my mind. Oh my. Oh, pleasure to have met you, baby. Oh, how we drive each other crazy. We ain't gonna fight this feeling, it sure feels good. Ooh, crazy. We ain't gonna fight the feeling, sure feels good. Pleasure to have met you, baby. Oh, how we drive each other crazy. We ain't gonna fight this feeling, sure feels good. We ain't gonna fight this feeling, sure feels good.
And that was Pleasure to Have Met You by billy-grima. And before I play the next song, if you're looking for him on social media or his website, or if you're going to buy his songs on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, his last name is spelled Grima. So that way you'll be able to find him. And here is Calendar Girl.
Calendar girl, ooh. When I see the moon and the stars lit up at night, I can't help but think about the crazy things we did. We would drive through the middle of nowhere in my rundown 55.
that was Calendar Girl by billy-grima. I love those songs, and I'm sure the full album is awesome. So be sure to pick Sugar and Cream up on iTunes, Amazon, or CD Baby. And also pick up his other two albums, I'm Just Standing and A Little Piece of Heaven, because they're all different from each other. So if you like a variety of music, I recommend that you pick those up. And that'll bring a close to today's show. Again, I'll be back on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with an interview with UK singer-songwriter Daniel Trigger. So be sure to join us. If you miss any of them, it's okay. Like I said, you can listen to the previous shows on take2radiomusic.com, also on Blog Talk Radio. And if you follow us on Blog Talk, they'll send you an email each and every time that we have a show scheduled so you don't miss it. You can also listen to the shows for free on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, and TuneIn. So there's a lot of different ways. I know a lot of people use their phones these days to listen to music or shows or, you know, even watch TV shows and things like that. So you can find us that way too. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. Thank you again to Billy, and thank you again to Michael Stover of MTS Management for setting up this interview. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate that you send your artists my way. Each and every one of them are great in their own unique way. So everybody enjoy the rest of the day. We'll talk again soon. Take care, everybody, and God bless.
Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music. Or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit take2radiomusic.com.